Hey guys, Jason here. Welcome to Metal and Beer episode number 30. I've got a really cool metal guitar lesson for you guys. I'm going to show you how to play what I call heavy metal inverted power chords, and I'm going to give you a couple different variations of those. And after the lesson, of course, I'll share with you what beer I'm drinking. Alright guys, let's bring it in a little closer, and I'm basically going to show you the chords that I just played. So let me play the chords first so you can hear them kind of ring out here. These are what I call inverted power chords, or what I'm saying, heavy metal inverted power chords. And the inversion comes from basically your fingers are kind of switched. They're kind of flip-flopped from the normal position of playing a power chord. And we'll get deeper into that as I share the notes here. So in this exercise, I'm going to teach you two types of inverted power chords. And I'm also going to show you different variations of that. And then lastly, I'm going to show you how to apply these at different parts of the fretboard. And this will give you endless opportunities in your writing of metal riffs. The first inverted power chord is based on an E minor. Now, we're playing the E minor higher up the fretboard here, so that first note is your second string, or I'm playing a 7th string here, so it's the A string on the 7th fret. In a normal power chord, your next note is going to be your 5th note, which is the next string over your D string 9th fret. However, in our inverted power chord, we're not playing that 5th note, we're playing what's called the 3rd note, and that's going to be positioned on the D string on the 5th fret. So instead of this, it's going to sound like this. So think of these inverted power chords, if you want to get technical, think of it just a power chord hitting the 3rd note instead of the 5th note. Now, if we move that up from an E to a D, normal power chord, it'd be like this. Now we are going to hit that D note, the A string, 5th fret, but that next string over, the D string, instead of the what we normally playing, the 7th fret, we're going to be playing the 4th fret. That's your 3rd note in that D power chord. So instead of this, we're playing this. So now that you know that part, you know the two types of inverted power chords that that we played earlier, I want you just to practice going back and forth between those two. So start with that E, what we're calling the E inverted power chord. Then go to the D. One more time. 1, 2, 3. Keep practicing. Now, all I did in the riff that you heard earlier in the video here is I just moved everything up one string. So whereas we're playing on the A and D strings, I just moved everything to the E and A string. So instead of this, using the same frets just on the E and A, it's going to sound like this. So that's the whole exercise. We've got this. Pretty cool. Now I want to kind of expand on what we've just learned. And I'm going to take those first two types of power chords, or the first two power chords we played, and we're going to add a third note in here. And this is going to kind of throw us for a little loop here, but that's okay. So back to that E power chord, the E inverted power chord that we learned earlier. Your A string, 7th fret, your D string is going to be the 5th fret. That third note that we're going to throw in here is going to be on the G string, your next string over, 4th fret. So instead of just this, you're going to have this. Now we're going to do the same thing on the D inverted power chord. So we've got the A string, 5th fret. I'm not going to throw the tabs up today because, you know, the notes are pretty simple here. So the A string, 5th fret, the D string, 4th fret, and then the G string is going to be the 2nd fret on this one. So now just practice hitting those chords, just changing them. Now what's cool is you can play around with that if you guys want to arpeggiate that, maybe palm mute it. You know, all sorts of things you can do that. So when you add that other note in there, you just open up more opportunities for more metal riffs and metal rhythms, which is very, very cool. So we've got that, you know, you learn the two types of inverted power chords, and basically again, the inverted power chord is just a cool name for playing the third note of the power chord instead of the 5th. And then you learn how to add that third note. And now I just want to take, you know, one of those chords. So let's take that first chord, the E that we learned. And remember that's the A string, 7th fret, D string, what fret is that? 5th fret. Just move it up one. Now take the concept of the D that we learned earlier. A string, 5th fret, D string, 4th fret. But move that up here to the A string, 10th fret, D string, 9th fret. And play that with the other chords we're just playing. Pretty cool. So I showed you that part to just kind of prove to you that you can take this concept and you can play it all over the fretboard. And I think this just gives you so many possibilities for creating your own metal riffs and metal rhythms. Now, one last thing I want to show you in the metal guitar part of the video, and then we'll get to the beer, I promise. Because the beer I have is going to be a really tasty one, and I've never tried this before, so I'm trying it for the first time with you. Instead of playing the regular, we're going back to the E inverted power chord I played. Instead of playing and going to the D, some of what you heard in the beginning of the video was instead of just playing that normal chord, you don't have to hang there. You don't have to stay on that normal chord. So an example here would be playing that inverted E power chord and then laying your pinky finger down on the 7th fret, you know, on that D string. And then the D, you know, we've got A string 5, then D string 4. Move that D string 4 to the 5th fret. So you can add those little chops in there. So again, that gives you a ton of possibilities, you know, playing these heavy metal inverted power chords. That gives you all kind of possibilities to write and create new metal rhythms. So you're probably wondering by now, what's Jason drinking today? Well, I'm glad you asked. Today I am trying a beer for the very first time right here with you on camera, and it's a beer called Bump. I guess you get bumped on the head? I don't know. But it's actually from a local brewery here called Coppertail. They're local here in Tampa, Coppertail Brewing. And I love this brewery. I love their beers. They're one of those beer makers that all their beers taste different, but there's like a fine thread throughout all the beers that you can tell it's Coppertail. So they did a very good job in branding their taste, if that makes sense. So anyway, Bump is a Florida Weiss, is part of the Florida Weiss series. I hope I pronounced that right. And it's got the blood orange, mango, and passion fruit flavors in here. So very, very interested to try this beer. Now again, Coppertail is here in Tampa. And if you guys remember, about a year and a half ago, I actually played guitar at Coppertail. They had a guitar solo contest. I think I came in second place, but it was I was the only metal guy, shredder, so to speak, there. But anyway, it was a lot of fun. It was for a fundraiser, so I had a really good time. And the people over there are just really, really cool folks. And they have a real cool brewery as well. So let's give Bump a taste. Cheers. Okay, that's very different. Hang on, I'm not done yet. Let's do another taste. Sometimes it takes more than once. You know, it's a good beer. There's a slight, seems like there's a slight carbonation in that beer. And I'll be honest with you, I'm not real familiar with the Weiss, the Berliner Weiss style beers. I'm just reading the back of the bottle here. So a Florida Weiss is a decidedly more flavorful take on the tart. Definitely taste that tart. The wheat beer originally brewed in Germany, I'm part German, called Berliner Weiss. We create the sharp tart flavors in our brew kettle just as they originally did in Berlin. But as the beer matures, we add loads of fresh fruit and other flavors to create a taste profile that's distinctly Floridian, which, yeah, definitely the blood orange, the mango, the passion fruit, that's definitely a Florida style beer. And I've tried other blood orange based beers, and very unique taste. It's not something that I would want like to drink a whole 6-pack or, you know, or even 3 or 4 beers. I might have 1, maybe 2, and then, you know, I'm good at that point. I want to try something else. But it is, you know, it is a shockingly good beer. It does have that bite to it, that tarty taste. So, pretty good stuff here. Alright guys, that wraps it up for this week's Metal and Beer, episode number 30. I can't believe there's 30 of these. Don't forget, there's a little box up here somewhere. That's the playlist of Metal and Beer, so you can watch all 30 Metal and Beer videos up to this point on that playlist. So definitely check that out. Don't forget also to go to the YouTube description. There's a link to my site, jasonstallworth.com, and there you'll find access to listen to all of my albums. So guys, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the show, and until next time, keep it metal.